Hey everyone, just got out of the pool. Sorry, I had a unintentional meeting with my doctors in the UK. It's an online course that I'm doing through them. I had to pay £17 for that, and with the currency rate exchange, everything, it ended up being $22.62 or some stupid number, whatever. They got on to me, and that's what this video is going to be about. That and the realization. After I did the thing with him, I was like, I was just okay. If you've never been through something like this, you don't know what processing means until you start doing things like this and have to go through something like this. And next thing you know, you're laying in the pool, baking, just kind of relaxing, whatever. And I've been drinking, obviously, and you just kind of kicking back, relaxing, and coming to some realizations about some things. And it's just puzzle pieces are clicking in place, and you're rejecting some ideals and accepting others, and all these things are going on in your mind. All right, let me back up. My doctors, and they throw the caveat on there that since they haven't actually interviewed Tara, that they can't officially state, notice officially state that she is a Dark Triad personality, which is a sociopathic Machiavellian narcissist. Okay. But they said, they threw this caveat in too, and they had me read an article today. I've already posted it up there. I've read through it after I got through talking to them, and that's why I've had to be processed. That's why my mind is still spinning right now with everything going on. And see, I just thought of something, and okay, sorry. They threw the caveat out there about recognizing who and what she is. Okay. But they said the problem is with these kinds of people, they're so good at hiding it that until they see third-party video like I presented, they would never even know she was if she came in and actually did interviews and things with them. So they've actually given me an avenue, and I'm going to take it, I believe, that will kind of put Tara on an alert for any and all doctors over in the Denton area. That way, and it gives them access to that video. It does it in such a way that they may be able to recognize if they said it could take up to a year because of the way they check into the system and different things, whatever. I don't know, but I don't understand all that. I'm not going to try to. But it gives them the ability that when her therapist and or doctor finally checks in with this system, hey, look, here's an alert. This person is diagnosed by this person over here because they're treating me, and they can legally say these things because sociopaths are a generalized. They're generally admitted to be a danger to society. So they're able to get away with that under that pretext. And so they gave me an avenue to do that. I'm going to follow up on it just simply because I didn't realize up to this point what's going on. Okay. Now I keep using the name sociopath. And well, okay, hang on, let me back up. My doctors over in England are completely aware, UK, England, whatever. They're completely aware of the videos I'm posting. And they've said, hey, if it helps you, if it makes you feel better, if you're getting to the point you need to be for healing, keep doing it. Rah, 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 cheer, cheer, go team. And I was sitting in one of the classes today. It got hot. I come in, I sat down, and one of the classes were coming on that I wanted to see. And I wasn't participating a lot in the class because the class wasn't really, it wasn't where I need to be right now. It's either too advanced or just too off the subject, whatever. It didn't matter. And so I wasn't talking much. And one of the counselors, doctors, whatever, noticed it, and they were like, hey, said something. And they were like, well, we would like to talk to you. And of course, here comes the money gig. But for a private session like this, it costs you £17, and that translates $22. And they said, we've kind of noticed some of your videos, and we need to talk to you. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I mean, so they kind of got me in this place. We need to talk, but I got to kind of pay for the talk too. Okay, it was damn well worth it. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm glad I paid the money. It was worth it. Okay. So they got me aside and they said, hey, you keep hollering in these videos, and I'm just liberally translating. They said, you keep saying, we need to get her help, we need to get her help, we need to get her help, we need to get her help. I was like, right, that's kind of the point of a lot of this. And they were like, stop. They said, and that's where we got into the discussion about getting her help, is that, first of all, you're not able to help someone else. There is no way I can help her. None whatsoever. And that's just, oh, just fucking, it's like, well, what do you mean? I've been, so I've been trying for so many years, and they told me, you've been wasting your time. Never going to happen. Never going to help. So all you enablers that are doing all the things you're doing too, yeah, you're wasting your time too. And I'll just tell you right now. So as we're going through this and we're talking about these things, they said you need to realize what a sociopath really is, because it's obvious you don't really accept what a sociopath is. You keep saying the words, but you're not accepting what it is. And so they started pointing out, because they've got the text messages, they've got the videos, they've got all the stuff. I've got no problem sending it to them. And they end up saying in one of those where she just basically was able to go, I don't love you anymore, click, and threw a switch. Okay. And I was like, okay. And they said, that's sociopath. And I was like, okay. So they were finally able to explain it to me in a way that I understand. And that becomes the key in my healing, is I have to understand these things. Okay. All right. Let's back up a little bit. They said, first of all, sociopathy, or being a sociopath, is all about what they call emotional maturity. Okay. And there are certain levels you get in emotional maturity as you grow older. And they said emotional maturity, your body's age doesn't matter. It's emotional maturity. In other words, how you've grown emotionally. And because I've told them the story, and I've told everybody else, Tara knows the story. I told Tara to repeat the story. And she hollered on the back porch. She goes, "We were both so young and so we didn't know." And blah blah. Okay, well, all right. Let's take it at that, because she admitted that on that video. When I met Tara, I had reached the point of my next step in emotional maturity, and I've had, before Tara, I had lots of shallow, meaningless sex. Well, I'm not going to say meaningless, but it was meaningless. Okay, it was meaningless. See what I mean about recognizing these things? So I had meaningless sex. It was just sex. Hey, we bumped uglies. Thanks a lot. Call you next week. Yeah. I'd been through that road. I had worn out that carpet, and so I was ready for the next step, which means, and that's at once one of the goals of emotional maturity, I'm ready for an actual relationship now. I'm ready for someone that I can care about, and the sex may get boring and old and same old or whatever, but that's part of the good part of it, you know? So I was ready for that. And I told Tara that. She said she was ready for it. And so we get together and we're trying to do that, and she never did that. And the reason behind that is that she was stunted in her emotional growth down here somewhere. And without talking to her, they said that they can't tell where, but they said I was emotionally mature enough to want to grow up. And they said now I'm still kind of in an emotional, well, I'll take that in a minute. So they said that's why she doesn't know what love is. And I know it is so hard to conceive, because we know we're tied to emotions, even male or female, even men are. We just don't admit it as much. And thank God I'm able to admit it now. We're so tied to our emotions that we cannot understand someone else who doesn't have them. But they were able to explain to me, and they were using all the points that she made. They're just using her statements, and it finally dawned on me, where she said, I don't love you anymore. I haven't loved you in a very long time. I only had sex with you because I absolutely had to, because I had nowhere else to go. God, what else did they say? There was one other thing. It basically built a picture of Tara having absolutely no emotional maturity, no adult level emotional maturity. She's truly means it. She doesn't love me. She never has loved me. She never will love me, and she is incapable of loving me. And the reason behind that is, and this is a hard part for me to understand, is that the sociopath is completely incapable of it. That they cannot do it. There's no fix. There's no cure. There's no medicine. There's absolutely nothing you can do. That's just what they are, and that's what they will be all of their lives. Because, and they told me there's never been one recorded. In other words, there's in all the history of medicine, they've never found a sociopath who can make that next step like most of us can, and become emotionally mature, to learn to love and all these other things we can do. But they were able to explain it to me in a way that it finally dawned on me. It finally dawned on me. There's no cure. There's no help. There's no medicine. There's nothing that can be done. And all of my false toxic hope, and that's really what it is, it's false toxic hope that she will get a cure, that some miracle will happen, or whatever. It's never gonna happen. She can't be cured. She can't be fixed. And then they were telling me about the emotional bonding, or the attempt bonding, animal hoarding. There's apparently some research that's going on with this stuff about sociopathic tendencies, animal hoarding. All right. The theory is, and it's not proven from what they were telling me, the theory is that these people lack all emotional connection. Okay, they see emotion the same way you see emotion, like when you watch a TV movie and so and so falls in love with so and so. Okay, and imagine any movie you want where one person falls in love with another. Okay, and you watch your movie and, oh, it touches your little heartstrings, and doesn't that feel good? And you go home and whatever. Then you see the people later, they don't care about each other at all. So when you think about sociopathics, think of that they were on screen and they pretended to love each other, but they had absolutely no emotional connection, no real emotional connection. And see, that's kind of what broke through to me. That's what helped me understand what a sociopath really is. And I'm still processing that, because it finally made some sense to me about what she is. You can't fix that. Life to her is that little movie. She's stuck in this little shell and playing a movie for everybody else to watch. She's not connected like we are. When I say we are, that becomes another argument, but I'll get to that in a minute. So understanding that has been really key for me, because they told me I need to stop trying to get her help because it's impossible. They said I just need to learn to let it go, to let her go, because I can't help her, I can't fix her. And it sounds like the people over there are dumb enough to think they can. And they're just going to have to find out for themselves they can't. But because of the threat, the murder plot and all that bullshit that she, oh, it's just a joke and whatever. They said that's not a joke. That is just so classical Ted Bundy type of thinking. They said you have to surpass certain levels of, they went through a long explanation about how that's so outside of normal thinking for normal people. And I'm not talking about getting drunk and joking about robbing a bank, because we've done that. We've joked around about it. But we were nowhere near being serious, where they watched the video about it and they said, no, that's not, you can tell. And then, of course, they're building that on the other information they know and have about her. So, but either way, so the realization that she's a sociopath, that is completely incapable of the emotions, becomes key in what I'm going through right now. And they said, now they sent me a new test. I haven't done it yet because I'm still processing a bunch of information. I want to get these things right in my mind. I want to understand things myself personally before I go forward. But they sent me a new test, and they said, hey, you really kind of need to take this test. They said, and they keep telling me just answer honestly. It's like, son, with all I've been through, You ain't got to worry about honesty. I mean, I'm so fucked up from all this. I need to be honest because I need help. I know that. I understand that. So I am being honest about this stuff. But the test is about emotional maturity, and they've talked to me about this stuff, and I've done these questions and answers, and they ask me, in different situations and circumstances, and I remember the story that I was over at my mom's house, and some little girl from across the street fell on her bike, and she's laying there crying in the street, and there are people outside just looking like, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people, man? And I go over and I try to help her up, and I set her on the curb and move her bike. Cause I mean, the last thing you want is a kid getting hit in the street, but an inattentive driver or whatever the hell. And I sat there and talked to her for a minute till she felt better, and started kind of walking herself home. And I said, "Can you make it from here?" And she said, "Yeah." And I was like, "All right." And I went back, and that's empathy. They told me that's empathy. That's where I care about another human being for no reason other than the fact of I care. I talked to can't say that. Sorry. I talk to people about things, and that's empathy. And I mean it just I mean I have no true emotional connection with these people per se. I'm not invested in them. I'm not invested in them, I guess it's probably the right statement, because I am emotionally connected to every human being I ever meet. Even if it's just someone, over here in the emotional support group for the narcissistic survivors and all that. I mean, one of them sent me a message like, "Hey, man, you're doing great. You're showing great support for people." And I said, "Because I want people to support me too. I really do. I really do." Damn. And that's empathy. And I do have people support me. I do, and it's important, and it feels good not only to have them support me, but to have me support them. And they said what I'm doing is it's because I'm reacting and doing all this crazy stuff about. And so I'm breaking out of a shell that I was held in because I was afraid to show any emotions around her because of the way she treated me and did me. And they went through a long explanation or whatever. And it just I'm breaking out of it. I don't want to be that person no more. I don't want to be that person anymore. Sorry, like I said, I'm still processing this stuff. Um, I want to be better. I care about people. I always have. Try to help people. Go out of my way sometimes to help people. I've had that cost me before, but it's okay. It never cost me that much. Sorry. Still processing some stuff, guys. Like I said, this is new. This is fresh to me. I go through this normally off camera or worse. Either way around, they've said I show emotional maturity. I'm an emotional adult. They said I'm too open now. I need to I need to bring up some more guards, and I'm sure that's probably right. Um, but the scumbags on Facebook, just hundreds of them, giving me shit because I mispriced something when I put it up there, and they're just sociopaths, narcissistic sociopaths, just came out of the fucking woodwork chewing on me. And you know what? I just didn't care. I just kind of laughed about it. It's like, man, this is the best you bitches got. Seriously, I've lived through much worse. Trust me. Um, but we got to talk about some of my parents and especially my dad. My dad was, old school. I was raised old school. Thank God I've broken out of that some. A couple of my doctors have noticed that. Is that I'm not. I was raised in the generation that men don't cry, and fuck that. I cry all the fucking time now, and it feels good to cry. And I couldn't do that with her around. I couldn't lower my guard with her around. I couldn't. couldn't be me. And I'm learning who I am again. And it feels good to know who I am again. I don't want to be that way again. I don't. So, so I'm learning. And I learned today that she's beyond redemption. She's beyond help. You know, I think I said that in that one little video I did about Christy trying to save her. And he had to go to the point of true self-sacrifice to save her. And I guess I'm holding that movie out um, as a nice little dream because it's not reality. No amount. And basically that's what they told me today in the little private session I went through, is that uh, damn, sorry. No amount of self-sacrifice will work. That I am wasting my time, I'm wasting my energy, I'm investing hopes, dreams, emotion, so much energy in a worthless cause and pursuit. And that is my ex-wife, my soon-to-be permanent ex-wife. They said it's been 36 years, almost 37 now, whatever. However long, they said that was just a little bit too much. That I should stop, start trying to focus on myself, make myself a better person, and try to find someone, if it's possible, to try to find someone that's worth investing that energy and emotions in because it's not her. So that was kind of a realization today. And it's going to take some while to settle in, obviously. They gave me a mantra to start trying to use about it, and I'm going to start trying to do that every day, especially the days that I think about her, and get that fixed and stop doing those things. Stop wasting my time. Stop wasting my energy. So, for any of you who may know her, um, from what my doctors tell me, no, there's a strong possibility of danger involved with dealing with her. How much danger that is, doesn't matter. They said there's no way they'd actually tell, but because she doesn't have that emotional maturity, they basically try to describe her like a 3-year-old throws a tantrum because they can't get the cookie. They said from what they've seen, that's where she's at, and they said she'll never grow up. They also said it's most likely because, and there was some abuse in her family, not that it is bad as she plays it off to be, but all families can be abusive, whatever. They said most likely what happened was one of her parents abused her, and the other one didn't coddle her enough about the abuse, so she's stuck at that. She can't get past that. That's the part of her life she can't get past. They also told me that I need to be very, very careful because if I allow this to do the same thing to me, I'll never be able to get past it. And I will essentially be emotionally dead. And that there's this, if I don't stop doing some of the things I'm doing. And I'm going to have to make a conscientious effort to do that. Anyway, I wanted to share that video today while it's still moderately fresh. I may do a second on it after I've had time to think through and process everything because like I say, I'm still not processed on it. And I mean, some of you, especially you people who've dealt with narcissists before, you're like, oh, I'm way past that. Well, congratulations, because I'm not. I'm just now learning this stuff. It's I mean, that's just such a small breakthrough, really, if you think about it on a larger scale. But it's enough of a breakthrough for me, for now. I mean, because they're only text. She's only been gone almost a month now. 2 days, a week shy of that, 3 weeks. But I think really comparing this to the other times we've been separated, etc., I was always dumb enough to let her come back or whatever. And I think I'm way past that now. I keep saying it. I hope it's true. But I think I'm beginning to realize the elements, the true toxic elements of what she is. And I think that's helping. Either way, I think I babbled on enough or whatever. And as always, I'm not going to say thanks. Actually, I am going to say thanks. Just the thought that one other human being out there in the world, if it's only one of you that watches this video, I think it makes things better somehow. That I'm not hiding anymore. Yeah. All right. So that's the end of this one. Take care. All that fun stuff.